That was long.
That's insane.
What?
That's ridiculous.
274 off the deck, 3-wood. Tough to believe, but I have to.
330 with a 3-wood.
It's pretty damn good, though.
That's awesome.
That is crazy.
I mean, I've never hit a 3-wood 300 yards in my life.
What are the driving numbers?
Is this thing legal?
So for our project, we decided to test TaylorMade's claim to see if the Rockballs 3-wood is 17 yards farther than the standard average 3-wood.
We collected our data from a group of 35 volunteers, and we had them hit their 3-wood versus the Rocketballs 3-wood off of a launch monitor.
We used the data we had of the differences, and then we used that data to perform a match pairs t-test and a match pairs confidence interval to see if there first was even a difference between the Rockballs 3-wood and standard 3-woods, and then to see the actual difference between the Rockballs 3-wood and the standard 3-wood in distance.
For our experiment, we did a match pairs t-test. Our null hypothesis was there is no difference between the distance of the Rockballs 3-wood and the standard 3-wood. Our alternative hypothesis was the distance of the Rockballs 3-wood is farther than the standard 3-wood. So the first thing we do is plug the numbers we got from collecting our data into the t-statistic formula, which is x bar of the difference minus 0 over the standard deviation of the difference over root n. Our numbers were, for x bar of the difference, we got 15.8. Our standard deviation was 11.532, and our n was 35. So we put it in the equation, which is 15.8 minus 0 over 11.532 over root 35. And then this gives us a t-statistic of 8.1055. So next we draw our distribution curve with 34 degrees of freedom. Then we use our t-statistic, which is 8.1055. And then we plug that into the calculator into tcdf 8.1055, comma 10 to the 99th, comma 34 degrees of freedom. And once you do that, you get a p-value of 9.414 times 10 to the negative 10th. With this p-value, which is very significant, it's less than 0.01. Therefore, we have enough evidence to reject the null hypothesis and believe that the distance of the Rocketballs 3-wood is farther than the standard 3-wood. Next, we will do a 95% confidence interval to see what the actual difference is of the Rocketballs 3-wood compared to the standard 3-wood.
We did a 95% confidence interval using the match pairs confidence interval formula, and we received 11.839 and 19.761. In context, this means the Rocketballs 3-wood was 11.839 to 19.761 yards farther than the standard 3-wood.
In conclusion, after we gathered our data and ran our tests, we found out there is a significant difference between the Rocketballs 3-wood and the standard 3-wood of approximately 11 to 19 yards in distance.
If we could have changed one thing with our experiment, we would have preferred to have taken a more randomized approach to collecting data because we had more of a convenience sample which could have produced bias.
And we see her, Johnny, on the 50 feet. Oh, he smashed that one. Absolutely magnificent ball flight. Oh, look at that magnificence.